engine's dead, Ethan. It's not just cold, it's completely dead. The words hung in the freezing air, each one a tiny, visible cloud of despair. Outside, the snow was beginning to fall faster, blurring the line between the road and the abyss. There was no one for miles. No signal. No hope of rescue. The dream of freedom had just become a cage of ice and steel. And as he looked at Maya, her face pale in the fading light, he knew their greatest test had just begun. This is the story of what happens when the escape becomes the trap. Welcome to THUY Survival Life. We invite you to listen to the story. It all started with a simple, yet profound, act of rebellion. The packing of a single van. Every item packed was an item from their old life left behind. A life of schedules, expectations, and walls. Even their loyal companion, Leo the dog, seemed to sense the shift. A new chapter of uncertainty was dawning. This wasn't just a trip for Ethan and Maya. It was an exodus. A deliberate choice to trade perceived security for authentic living. The first taste of that new life was as refreshing as cool water on a parched throat. The vehicle became more than a machine. It was a vessel, carrying them away from a world they no longer recognized as their own. In the quiet moments, rolling through the untamed backcountry, they rediscovered a connection that the noise of the city had drowned out. Each mile marker was a victory, a testament to their courage to choose the unknown over the familiar. Ethan at the helm was no longer just a man driving. He was the captain of his own destiny. The forest wasn't just scenery passing by the window. It was a living, breathing entity, welcoming them into its embrace. But there's a subtle arrogance in believing you can simply walk away from civilization without consequence. The beauty of the wilderness is hypnotic. It makes you forget that it is, by its very nature, indifferent to your survival. Their first real lesson in self-sufficiency came not from a book, but from the cold, clear water. They learned that a meal you catch yourself nourishes not just the body, but the soul. Ethan's face, etched by the sun and wind, began to tell a new story. One of resilience, not routine. He held up his catch, not as a trophy, but as a symbol of a contract fulfilled between him and the natural world. They encountered the true locals of this new world, like this graceful deer, a silent observer of their journey. For Leo, every day was a feast for the senses, a world of new smells and endless exploration. But the road demands constant vigilance. Complacency is a luxury you cannot afford out here. The sunglasses hide his eyes, but they can't hide the intensity of his focus. Every decision matters. Even a moment's distraction, a glance at a map or a phone, can be the difference between safety and disaster. The romance of the open road is built on a foundation of mundane, repetitive tasks and unwavering attention. And with every mile, the world they left behind seemed to shrink in the rearview mirror, becoming a distant memory. They were crossing more than just a bridge. They were crossing a threshold into a different state of being. This life strips you down to your essential self. There are no job titles, no social status, only your skills and your wits. Standing at the edge of the world, you are forced to confront the person you've become when no one is watching. The signs you follow are no longer those of highways and exits, but of weather patterns and animal tracks. The pavement gives way to dirt, a clear sign that they are leaving the curated world for the untamed one. Driving here requires a different kind of skill, a conversation between the driver, the machine, and the terrain. The forest canopy closes in, a beautiful but imposing reminder of their isolation. Maya takes the wheel, a silent acknowledgement that this is a shared burden, a shared dream. This journey forces you to be entirely present. You can't afford to be lost in thought when the path ahead is so demanding. What do you think is the biggest challenge of a nomadic lifestyle like this? Let us know in the comments. These moments of shared experience become the bedrock of their relationship, tested and fortified by the wild. Even simple chores, like setting up camp, are imbued with a sense of purpose. Every piece of equipment must be meticulously organized. Their van is not just a vehicle, it's their entire world. The most basic necessity, and out here, its acquisition can never be taken for granted. The ritual of preparing food becomes a central part of the day, a moment of warmth and normalcy. Careful rationing and planning are non-negotiable survival skills. You eat what you have, not what you want. A simple cup of coffee in the morning feels like the ultimate luxury when you've earned it through effort. He checks his supplies with a practiced eye. Overlooking a small detail now could lead to a big problem later. The phone, once a lifeline to a bustling world, is now little more than a camera and a map. Cooking inside the cramped quarters of the van is an exercise in efficiency and patience. Every action is deliberate, designed to conserve space, fuel, and energy. And then there are the rewards. A quiet moment of contemplation, with a view that no money can buy. Preparing a meal together isn't a chore. It's an act of teamwork, a dance of practiced movements. They share a meal, reinforcing the bond that is their most critical piece of survival gear. There is a profound peace in this simplicity, a quiet satisfaction in needing so little to be content. He stands before his mobile home, a man who has successfully engineered his own existence. But the wild has a way of reminding you that you are never truly in control. The constant maintenance is relentless. The van, their liberator, is also a demanding master. A simple screen, protection against the insects that can turn a peaceful evening into a miserable one. His expression reveals the weight of responsibility. He alone is the mechanic, the navigator, the provider. A rare call makes it through. Is it a connection to the old world, or a lifeline for the new one? Moments of pure joy, like a swim with Leo in a crystal-clear pond, are the fuel that keeps them going. He finds a sense of perspective out on the water, a feeling of being a small part of something immense. This life is not glamorous. It involves hard work, awkward positions, and a willingness to get your hands dirty. Technology, like a thermostat, offers a fragile buffer against the elements, a small pocket of controlled climate. And the sunsets, the daily spectacle that costs nothing and is worth everything. This is a man remade by his environment, stripped of pretense, defined by his actions. He walks the shoreline, a temporary visitor in a timeless landscape. The water reflects the sky, a perfect metaphor for how the journey has begun to reflect his inner state. The bed is more than a place to sleep. It's a sanctuary, the one truly private space in a life lived outdoors. Exhaustion is a constant companion, but it is the deep, satisfying weariness of a day well lived. The routine continues. Prepare food, conserve energy, plan for tomorrow. It is the rhythm of survival. He performs these tasks with an economy of motion that speaks of long practice. He sits and watches the world, no longer a passive consumer of entertainment, but an active observer of life itself. Every drop of water is precious, a lesson the comfortable world has forgotten. The vastness of the water offers a sense of infinite possibility, just as the seemingly endless road ahead promises new adventures. Behind the wheel, he is in a state of flow, a moving meditation. The phone screen displays a map, a digital thread connecting them to a world they've chosen to leave behind. What modern convenience would you miss the most in this situation? His hands on the steering wheel are firm. He is in command of the 2-ton machine that is his entire life. The hat and sunglasses are not a fashion statement. They are essential tools against the relentless sun. A warm drink can be a powerful morale booster, a small comfort that makes a huge difference. He captures a moment, documenting a journey that is transforming him in ways he is only beginning to understand. This is the face of a man who is both finding and losing himself in the wilderness. Each day adds another layer to his experience, another line to the story his face tells. The simple act of gathering water, a chore for some, is a life-affirming ritual here. The drive is long, a constant forward motion towards an unknown destination. The camera is a constant presence, a third eye witnessing this transformation. Together, they are a self-contained unit, a tiny tribe of two against the vastness. The sizzle of food on the grill is the sound of success, the reward for a day of hard work. Every meal is an opportunity to refuel, to plan, and to appreciate the moment. He eats with the quiet focus of someone who truly appreciates their food. This is not dining. This is replenishment. Practical, necessary, and deeply satisfying. His home is his backdrop. His world is a chair, a plate, and the open sky. There is an undeniable appeal to this radical simplicity, a stripping away of all that is unnecessary. The view from inside the moving van is a constantly changing painting of the natural world. Endless miles of asphalt, each one a choice, a decision to keep moving forward. Even out here, some rituals of the old world persist. A haircut to feel human again. The process of cooking starts with the most basic ingredients combined with care and skill. A perfect pancake. A small victory, but a victory nonetheless. This is the reality of camp life. It's a constant cycle of setting up, cooking, cleaning, and packing down. Sharing a meal solidifies their partnership. They rely on each other for everything. He assesses their provisions. How long can they last before they need to find a town? Every resupply trip is a strategic mission, balancing needs against the limited space in their vehicle. Loading the truck is like a game of chess, where every piece must fit perfectly. A crucial piece of paper. Is it a map? A permit? A letter from home? He carefully stows it away, In this minimalist life, every object has a heightened importance. A drone controller, a piece of modern technology used to capture the beauty of their escape from technology. They find pockets of civilization, man-made structures that feel alien in the vast wilderness. A room with a window. For a moment, they can pretend they have a stationary home. But soon enough, the road calls them back. The highway is their true home now. They are not the only ones seeking a different path. Others are out here, each on their own journey. Leo walks with a purpose, a faithful scout leading the way. Back behind the wheel, Ethan is in his element, constantly reading the road and the sky. The journey takes them through small towns, brief encounters with the world they are trying to forget. Would you ever consider a life like this? Even for a short time? What would be your biggest fear? He points to a landmark, a shared discovery that makes the vast world feel a little more intimate. The constant motion becomes a lifestyle. To be static is to feel stagnant. They navigate the arteries of a nation, seeking the wild spaces in between. There is a loneliness to this life, a profound solitude that is both a blessing and a curse. The deeper they go into the woods, the more they must rely on their own instincts. Maya drives towards the mountains, giants on the horizon that promise both beauty and peril. He stands on a gravel road, a man at a crossroads. Which path leads to salvation, and which to ruin? They are part of a subculture of modern nomads, a fleet of wanderers searching for something more. Each driver has their own story, their own reasons for choosing this life of constant motion. The mountain roads are treacherous, demanding absolute concentration. One mistake here could be their last. The routine of cooking provides a comforting anchor in a life of constant change. He looks out at his truck, his lifeline. His survival is inextricably linked to the health of that machine. The back of the truck is his office, his dining room, his entire world. He tries to maintain a connection to the digital world, but his reality is overwhelmingly analog. And this is where they find themselves, parked on a mountain road, with the weather turning against them. A quick meal before the storm hits. Every calorie is precious fuel. They push on, perhaps trying to outrun the coming blizzard, a race against nature itself. The white van, once a symbol of freedom, now looks small and vulnerable against the looming mountains. His face is grim. He knows what's at stake. He understands the power of the wilderness they have invaded. The river below is a churning, icy torrent, a powerful reminder of nature's indifference. They set up a hasty camp, a desperate attempt to create a zone of safety before the worst of the storm arrives. Ethan surveys their situation, his mind racing through contingency plans. This is the moment of truth, when the idealized dream of survival meets the brutal, cold reality. He stands on the rocky shore, the water impossibly cold, the air growing thinner. The landscape is beautiful, but its beauty has a menacing edge. It is the beauty of a predator. He takes a selfie, a strange, modern ritual in the face of an ancient danger. A message in a bottle for a future he's no longer sure he'll see. Huddled in the van for warmth, Leo offers a comforting presence, oblivious to the gravity of their predicament. In this moment of crisis, the bond between man and animal is a powerful anchor against fear. The forest that once seemed so welcoming now feels like a prison, its trees like the bars of a cage. They must now look at this environment not as a place of recreation, but as a source of resources for survival. He ventures out, searching for anything that could help them. Firewood, shelter, a sign of a way out. The van sits silently in the grass, a monument to a plan that has gone terribly wrong. The panoramic view shows their complete and total isolation. They are utterly alone. But giving up is not an option. He gets back in the van, ready to try something, anything. They decide to risk moving, crawling down the road, hoping the engine doesn't die again. His face is a mask of concentration. Every sound from the engine is scrutinized. They make a fire, a desperate act to create warmth and cook what little food they have left. Teamwork is paramount now. Their survival depends entirely on how well they work together under pressure. He examines a bowl of earth. Is he looking for edible roots? Mineral? A sign of water? This whimsical bird on the dashboard seems to mock their situation, a colorful relic from a carefree time. The beard doesn't just protect from the cold, it's a testament to the days and weeks spent away from civilization. He stands outside, embracing the cold, perhaps finding a strange clarity in the harshness of the elements. A morsel of food is eaten slowly, deliberately, savoring every bit of energy it provides. A warm drink brings a flush of life back to his face, a small victory against the encroaching cold. At some point, perhaps before the engine failed, there was a moment of celebration. A glass of wine by the water. It's a bittersweet memory now. A reminder of the thin line between a romantic adventure and a desperate struggle. How quickly the dream can curdle. The toast of freedom becomes a memory of a time of blissful ignorance. He holds the glass, a fragile object in a world of rock and ice. What thoughts occupy a mind in such a moment? Is it regret, or a fierce determination to see another sunrise? He sits on a rock, dwarfed by the landscape, a solitary figure contemplating his next move. Every resource is now being reevaluated for its survival potential. They cook what they can, knowing that a hot meal is crucial for maintaining body temperature and morale. Every action is focused on one goal, enduring until they can find a way out. Leo waits patiently in the car, a silent companion offering unconditional loyalty. They decide to press on, the dirt road a treacherous but hopeful path forward. And then, a sign of hope. A building. An outpost of humanity in the middle of nowhere. He enters cautiously. Is it abandoned? Is there help to be found here? The cabin represents a chance. A shelter, dimes, a place to regroup and repair their vehicle and their spirits. Leo seems to understand the significance of this discovery, peering out with renewed hope. Taking a moment to rest on the porch, a wave of relief washes over him. They are safe, for now. The drone flies high above, a mechanical bird that can see the way forward, a map to safety. In a moment of reflection, he thinks of family, of the connections that truly matter. The crisis has passed, leaving him changed. He sits with a newfound appreciation for the simple act of being safe. He begins the work of survival, not with panic, but with a steady, determined purpose. The red light of a headlamp illuminates his face, a beacon of human ingenuity in the darkness. The red house in the woods wasn't just a shelter, it was a sanctuary. With safety secured, the tension breaks. Leo can finally enjoy a swim, a return to joyful normalcy. Ethan joins him, the frigid water washing away the fear and grime of the past few days. He emerges from the water reborn, having faced the worst and come out the other side. Their camp now looks peaceful, a testament to their ability to create order out of chaos. He stands before the red house, a humble structure that became the most beautiful sight in the world. A peace sign, a gesture of gratitude to the universe, and a symbol of the inner peace he has found through adversity. He gets to work. The ATV at the cabin provides a means to explore and gather resources. He rides with a new confidence, no longer just a tourist in the wilderness, but a capable survivor. He cuts firewood, a primal and satisfying task. Each piece of wood is another hour of warmth, another night of safety. The truck and trailer, once tools of a leisurely project, are now essential for rebuilding their life. He rests on a pile of his own hard work, the physical embodiment of his resilience. He clears debris, bringing order to his surroundings, mirroring the order he has restored in his own mind. Every task is performed with intention. There is no wasted energy, no wasted motion. This is the man who emerged from the crisis, stronger, wiser, and more alive than ever before. He fishes not just for sport, but for sustenance. The connection to his food source is direct and profound. The simple act of holding a fish is a reminder of his ability to provide for himself and his family. He sits by the water, no longer a stranger in this land, but a part of its rhythm. Back, in a more civilized setting, Leo waits by the door, his own journey having come to a safe conclusion. They've adopted a new friend, a tiny kitten, a symbol of new life and new beginnings. He eats a meal in a kitchen, a simple act that now feels like an incredible luxury. Maya holds a pair of shoes, perhaps the very ones she wore on their harrowing trek through the woods. He plays the guitar, finding solace and expression in music, telling the story of their survival without words. They care for the small creatures in their life, a reflection of the compassion they've learned in the wild. Back on the road, but something is different. The way he drives, the look in his eye. The journey continues, but they are not the same people who started it. He walks up a set of stairs in the woods, a path of ascent. He is climbing out of the darkness of his ordeal. He walks with a new purpose, a new understanding of what it means to be alive. The path through the woods is no longer intimidating. It is familiar territory. He stands on the trail, a guardian of his own hard-won peace. He has faced the mountain, and he has endured. He wears the experience on his face. He and Maya stand together on the summit, not as conquerors, but as humble survivors. They are comfortable in the wild now. It is no longer an adversary, but a challenging and respected teacher. Each step is confident, sure-footed. Fear has been replaced by knowledge. He looks out, not at a hostile wilderness, but at a world that he now understands. The journey was not about escaping life, but about finding a way to truly live it. He walks with the quiet dignity of one who has been tested and has not been broken. They have found a balance between the wild and the civilized, between freedom and responsibility. The small brick tower on the hill is like a monument to their journey, a testament to enduring strength. Out on the water again, but this time, there is no fear, only a calm, deep-seated peace. He is the master of his own small vessel, navigating the waters of his new life with skill and gratitude. If you enjoyed this story, please like and leave a comment with your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to the THUY Survival Life channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss